Hey guys, how's it going? This is Christopher John Hill, and this is part 3 of the 3-part beta preview showcase. And this one is, of course, the Harbinger. So essentially, let's get underway. There she is. She looks pretty good. It's Solari, of course. And down the bottom here, let's just get into it. We have elixirs all the way across. And each of these are going to give you a different ability. One's going to give you healing and vigor. This one's going to give you might and fury. This one's going to give you resistance and break stuns. This one, of course, is the Elixir of Bliss, which is going to give you resolution. Basically, decreases incoming conditional damage and conditions removed. And of course, you have the final one, which is going to give you all these boons, essentially like a guardian. Down the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pistol abilities, which is the vicious shot. It's going to inflict torment every time you shoot someone, and it bounces between foes, of course. And you have combo finishers there too. The Weeping Shots, it's going to inflict vulnerability and torment. And then you have this one right here, which is the Vile Blast, which is going to basically inflict poison and weakness. And it will, of course, interrupt enemies with a stun. And let's show you what it's capable of. We also have the Harbinger Shroud, which is activated right there. I have Stability, Fury, Protection, and Life Force when it's activated. And this will regenerate, according to my trait lines, up to about 2/3 every time. So let's use up all our elixirs and show you guys what the class is capable of. So let's put all that on, and then let's fire away at our first target. There you go. And then you can basically just shoot them. This is fine for normal enemies. You're going to take them out pretty easily. I also have the focus on my offhand, which is going to freeze them, slow them down, which is going to give you more chance to take them out in your normal attack. But of course, it is the Shroud ability which we are interested in the most. So basically, on your normal attack, number 1, it's going to be firing off those, which is going to inflict torment and vulnerability. On number 2, it's going to be firing off a bunch of the poison rounds. And number 3, it's going to run right to them. Number 4 is just to jump into mid-air onto the target location, and I'll show you number 5 in a second once we rebuilt it. So basically, this class is overwhelming when you're in your Shroud ability, and a little bit underwhelming when you have your pistol attack on. That's, of course, my opinion. You guys are open to your own opinion as well, of course, but yeah. Basically, if you want to inflict maximum damage, you're going to have to be in your Shroud ability all the time. Otherwise, you're not going to be inflicting that much damage at all. And I will show you the equipment I have on, the runes, and of course the sigils, so you guys can have a look at it. I didn't have to make 2 variations of this build at all. But surprisingly, I just made 1, and it did the trick for everything I was trying to do. I was basically thinking to myself, why bother trying to change this up much at all? I mean, it does pretty good, as you can see with what I've got on. I mean, do you really need to change it up that much at all? I mean, it's really effective. Let's face it, guys. This build is basically set around inflicting maximum conditions, as many conditions as possible. And out of the 3 of the new class, elite specializations, this was probably my number 2 favorite. Virtuoso number 1. This one would be my number 2 for sure, because it can inflict a lot of damage, especially on mobs. It does pretty good against single opponents as well. There you go. There's that number 5 ability on the Harbinger. And the longer you stay in Shroud, the more your life force gets drained, and the more you suffer from the blights, which reduces your maximum overall health. So you guys are going to need essentially a massive amount of life in order to pull this class off. I don't recommend going for this class later on when it eventually becomes official. Unless you have Vitality maxed out every single time, which of course is going to limit you to the type of equipment you can have on the class. As I said before, trying to use the normal attacks, yeah, you're not going to really inflict that much damage. It's going to take a while to take the enemy down, even with all these conditions you're inflicting. So yeah, I don't recommend it. It's basically only used to regenerate your life force gain. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother with it at all. It's a nice idea, but you know, in practice, it doesn't really do much. It's where the Harbinger class is, which is where all the damage is going to be. So basically, I've set it up in such a way where if I'm near the enemy, it's going to be casting a lot of torment on them, and that's going to add up very quickly indeed. So yeah, that's very useful. The longer I'm next to them, the more the torment is going to build up, and the faster they're going to die. So that's why I say this class is especially effective in mobs. Against single targets, it does okay. It does, and basically you can press these like pressing a piano, but the boons don't last very long, to be honest. They really don't. Before you know it, they're gone already. So yeah, I have mixed feelings about that, and I felt that the elixirs could really use a revamp. I mean, seriously, if all they're going to do is just give you boons, it's a little underwhelming, guys. It really is. It's like a guardian, essentially, in that way, in that respect. I would like to see something else differently done with them, like maybe throwing the potion down to the floor and giving you like a poison cloud, like snakes come out and start attacking something, or a freezing cloud that starts to freeze enemies, chill them, and knock them on the ground. An acid cloud would be nice as well. I'm just throwing things out there, guys, to give you ideas of what could be done. Acid cloud could be like torment, and maybe blind your enemies, for example. Alrighty, so let's jump into the middle of a mob here and show you what the class can do when you're inside of a mob itself. So we're going to do that. Hit number 2, hit number 3, and then we're going to hit the Harbinger's abilities. And there you go. See, takes them out really fast, mobs. No problems at all. Really, really good for that. That I do recommend for this class. I mean, if you can remember to hit your alchemical potions and then head into combat, you're going to be doing really well, because half the time I forget to click them. I even forget that they're there, to be honest. I want something that's going to be a little bit more useful to use with your pistol in combination with it. As I said, creating some kind of cloud effects would be very much appreciated instead of just drinking them. Like, give something on the trait line that is going to reverse the effects to actually killing stuff around you, maybe even inflicting damage on yourself. That would be nice. I'm just going to go down here and show you one last time what the class can do in a mob, just so you guys are aware. There you go, I'm hitting all those, I'm hitting that. I'm going to hit my ability to make them fly up in the air, and there you go. Down they go, just like that. So yeah, I mean, in regards to the Shroud abilities, I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. You can inflict maximum vulnerability and torment in next to no time. But in regards to being out of that ability and just having the normal pistol or the dagger and the focus on the offhand, yeah, I was a little disappointed there. And in regards to the elixirs themselves, a little bit disappointed again, because you get all this boons from the Guardian. Alrighty, I'm going to show you guys the equipment I have on and the trait lines I have on, so you can see what you think. But this is the most effective combination I have found so far. Essentially, you have curses, with of course disabling a foe inflicts torment. That's on the pistol ability, so why not? You have Path of Corruption, which is going to take away your enemy's boons, always useful versus anything that has boons on them. And of course, a percentage of your conditional damage heals you, invaluable, because you're inflicting conditions on basically every single attack. On the next one, we have Soul Reaping, which of course Strat 1 inflicts vulnerability, very useful to weaken your enemies. Gain Vitality, you need Vitality, so yeah, take it. Eternal Life, gain life force every interval up to threshold, so basically when you're out of combat, your life force pool is going to regenerate, so invaluable. Definitely take that one, guys. I mean, why would you go with anything else? You want that to be regenerated as quickly as possible. On the Harbinger, I went for, of course, the Septic Corruption. It'll increase damage for each stack of blight you have, and Shroud Skill 2 inflicts additional poison damage. Invaluable when firing off at them in Shroud. This one I wouldn't bother with, because you have to be near them in order for the elixir to have any effect, and why would you want to be in your normal form against a group of enemies or even a single target? The Corruption will increase strike damage for each stack of blight you have. Once again, I'm not really impressed, because that's only going to give you maybe 25% extra damage, and that's only dependent on whether you have maximum blight on you. This one is much more better to go for, in my opinion. You're going to go... The Shroud ability is where it's all at, guys. You want to inflict as much damage as you can, and there you have it. For this one, Implacable Foe, you want stability. So every time you use your Shroud ability, you jump towards them. I think that's on the number 4 ability. You're going to gain stability. Invaluable, guys. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? And gain ferocity based on a percentage of vitality. And seeing as your vitality is maxed out, why wouldn't you go for this? Elixir skills on this one, Twisted Medicine. Elixir skills also grant their boons to nearby allies. This is great. If you're doing dungeons, world bosses, world versus world, anything like that, where you have a lot of your allies around you, yes, definitely go for that in those kinds of environments. But in PvE, this is the one I would go for. Dark Gunslaughter is the next ability trait line. Yeah, I'm not impressed with the pistol, so why would you go for that? You're basically shooting yourself in the foot, guys. I don't get it. Why would you go for that? It recharges quick enough as it is. Okay, for the final trait line, approaching Doom, your condition damage is increased while in the Harbinger Shroud, and you gain an aura that pulses each interval to torment and weaken enemies, nearby enemies. Yes, definitely go for this. You're going to jump into a mob with your number 4 ability while in Shroud. Yeah, you're going to be pulsing torment like crazy. Why wouldn't you go for this? This is going to wipe out your enemies. It doesn't matter if it's a single target, it doesn't matter if it's multiple targets, and it weakens them. Definitely go for it. This one, yeah, gain quickness. I mean, you could do that if you want to. If you want to inflict more conditions more quickly, yeah, that's fine. While in Shroud form. And this one, Cascading Corruption. Your power is increased while in Harbinger Shroud. You gain an aura that pulses each interval, which cripples them. Yeah, okay. Why would you go for that over this one? I mean, why would you do it? Yeah, I don't recommend that one. That's up to you guys, but these two I do recommend. The top one I don't recommend. Alrighty, that's just my opinion though, of course. For the equipment, it's going to be, of course, power, vitality, and conditional damage. I don't see why you would go for anything else, to be honest. You want vitality to be maxed out, that's going to limit your options, and you want your conditional damage maxed out, so yeah. Superior Rune of Scavenging, 6 out of 6. Poison duration is increased and converts 7% of your vitality into conditional damage. Yes, why wouldn't you go for this? We have, of course, Superior Sigil of Force and Superior Sigil of Bursting, which increases your conditional damage. We have 1,911 conditional damage, which is more than what you need, but yeah, if you are really serious about being a Harbinger and inflicting maximum amount of conditional damage, definitely go for it. We have Ferocity, which is, of course, 300, and 2,524 on the Vitality. So there you have it, guys. And of course you have carry on stats on the trinkets here. Alrighty guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and the only thing we didn't show you on the elixirs was the other one, which gives you quickness, swiftness and quickness. I mean, you can take that if you want to, but you drink them so fast, why would you bother? You can get that on your trait lines anyways. So yeah, that's just my opinion. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment, and click the bell. Also, please don't forget I am a writer on Amazon. I just started a new series of books called Akima and Dante Against All Odds, an isekai story of love and revenge. I currently have volumes 1 and 2 there. I am working on volume 3 at the moment. And if you guys love stories like From Commonplace to World's Strongest, please feel free to check that one out, because it's definitely worthwhile. It's got illustrations inside as well. Otherwise, take care, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until the next Guild Wars video, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.